It's home buying season, and in between qualifying for a mortgage and finding your perfect home, there is one very important detail to the process, making sure the deed or title to the home is done correctly. Joining us now is attorney Danielle Mayoris to break it all down for us. Danielle, thanks for being on once again.
Thank you for having me, Rochelle.
All right, I've got to confess something. You may never look at me the same way again, but to the point of what I was just saying, you spend so much time looking all over Zillow, maybe your realtor's sending you listings, you're getting pre-approved. By the time closing day rolled around for me, I was like, if you slide it in front of me, I will sign it. I just want to be done. That's not a good way to approach the day.
Not a good way, but
Okay.
it is very normal.
Okay.
I think we've all been there. It's
Yeah.
so emotional. You just want to get through all that
Yeah,
paperwork.
it's a lot of paperwork.
But then catch your breath afterwards and
Okay.
take a look at the deed if you need to. Circle back to the title. And some of the issues are actually, that I see the most, are after someone buys a home.
Okay, so why is this detail so important? What can happen, what can go wrong, I guess, if you will, if it's not done correctly?
There are a couple of top mistakes that I see with homeowners. And the first is there's so many homeowners who think, if something happens to me, I want to avoid probate court, so I'm just going to add a bunch of names to the deed to my house. So if I pass away, I have it all figured out. Now, I'm not going to have to worry about my beneficiaries going through the court. And in theory, that sounds great, but what they don't realize a lot of times is that those people have to sign off on the deed to the house if they want to sell it. And believe it or not, I have seen people held hostage by their co-owners. And in fact, there was one client who added her niece and nephew's names to her deed. She needed to sell the house, so she had money for a nursing home, and they refused to sign off. So beware.
Okay, what about using a trust? Because that could come into play here, right?
Yes, a lot of times, and I'm a big advocate of revocable living trusts, a lot of times people are advised by their professionals to transfer ownership of their home into their trust. But what you need to do is if you use a trust and transfer ownership, you have to update your homeowner's insurance. If you don't, can you imagine there's a catastrophe, you have flooding, you have a fire, and then you find out you don't have coverage because you never updated the policy owner on the insurance policy. So one of the ways we can get around that is by using a different type of deed called a ladybird deed. So the home can actually go into your trust when you pass away instead of during your lifetime, and you don't have to worry about the insurance issues.
Just an approximate number, ballpark, what percentage of people would you say don't plan ahead like this, and then you really see either the estate suffer or loved ones suffer as they try to move forward and get paperwork in order?
I would say 50-50.
Wow.
Obviously, I have a skewed number because
you have responsible people coming to you all day, every day.
Exactly, because I see what comes into our office. But I think a lot of people end up being fortunate because they add names on and maybe everything works out okay. But there's many people who it does not work out okay. So we really want to be aware of that.
Okay, this was a lot of information to digest, so if people know they need to get on it, they need to be a little bit better, I'm going to throw myself in that category. Where can they go for their checklist for some advice?
They can go to our law firm website and reach out at brmmlaw.com.
You always add to my to-do list, Danielle, but I still like you a lot.
It's an important to-do list.
I know. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks.